didn't use them.
So yeah, how about Linda? I mean, you played it once before.
Yes.
And so
And I feel
20
very,
years
very,
to let it ferment and come back
well,
out.
I've had 20 more years of suffering. I thought I had suffering.
She was only 16. What are you
I
talking
thought
about?
I had suffering when I did it before. But of course, the more life experience you have, the more life experience you can bring to the stage.
Exactly.
And I think, well, and this is going to sound like I'm a martyr or something, but I think the harder your life has been, the better you are as an actor. You have more dimensions, maybe a little dementia, more dimensions to bring. But I feel Linda's one focus and is to help Willie, is to make him feel better, is to keep him alive, to prevent him from killing himself, to put his teeth back in and put him back in the ring. And with a lot of families, the woman will stand up more for her children than her husband. The children become the focus. And in this case, she has a wonderful scene with Biff where she says, you can't just come see me. You have to come see him too. You can't just, because he's the dearest man in the world to me.
But don't you think it's, as in a lot of families when they start getting into these, again, whatever his situation
Problem,
is,
yeah.
if it's stress, dementia, that he is becoming the child in some ways, don't you think?
Well, I never thought, I mean, I think she's hoping things are going to get, I think she's, like I say, she's trying to keep him alive, and I think she thinks, okay, well, if he doesn't have to travel so much, she says, well, you know, go talk to him about working in the city, you can't travel. I think she's hoping that things will get back to normal, that he's just under so much strain and he's so exhausted, and she's going to nurture him and take care of him, and if it means never seeing those boys again, even though she loves them with all her heart, she will sacrifice everything for him, that her total focus is her husband. And that's not always the case in families.
Sure.
You know.
What do you think the overriding theme for you is going to be on this?
Kill all the old people.
I think it's the story of a man who, as I said earlier, really cares about his family, he cares about his job, but he's just, he's going south, so to speak. He just is losing it. Maybe dementia is the right way to put it. And also his values, as Ron was saying, the values are all wrong. I mean, at one point he says, he laughs about the football, you know, Biff barred the football. He laughs about go and steal the lumber, and, you know, and bring it back here, we'll build a porch or something.
Cheat on a test, try to get him to cheat on a test,
Yeah,
to get
right,
the answers
yeah.
from Bernard,
So he
and
was
just as
sending
long
all
as
of
you look like you're succeeding,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how you get there.
Yeah, but then you got Charlie, who is a successful businessman next door, and he is a honest, that straight down the road person. So, matter of fact, I read something about Arthur Miller recently. Somebody asked him, was this a slam against capitalism or for socialism? He said, I think they're both not too good in a lot of ways. So, but I think it's a tragedy of Herculean proportions of a man. It's as tragic as Hamlet, and in a lot of ways, I think it's as good as Hamlet.
But when I was looking at the show recently, I loved when you look at Charlie and his son and Willie and his kids, at the beginning they're the winners.
Yeah.
And Charlie and his family are the losers, and at the end of the play,
Yeah.
the reverse roles.
Yeah.
That's a really nice transition.
Yeah. That's the values, and
Yeah.
people are taught. I mean, maybe Willie's an exaggeration that way, but people are taught that.
Sure.
That success is how much money you make, and it is not, you know, it isn't. It's the life you lead, your values, how you treat people.
I mean,
That's because I'm poor, I can say
that, you know, all kinds of parents that do their children wrong. And because working for youth villages, it's, you know, you see all kinds of horrible situations. Abuse of a lot of ways, neglect, and the kids grow up, they don't understand what's happening to them, and because they never have seen They were never had an example. That's the reason our mentoring program is so important. We bring in people to mentor these kids and work with them and take them out and show that people care about them, and they're not doing it just to their staff member. They're doing it because they're volunteers wanting to help the child. And so, but it happens all the time. And I think Willie was one of those guys that in his way abused Linda, and abused the kids in a certain ways. He also was prejudicial against Happy. Biff was the golden boy, I think.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Well, one thing that I'm really looking forward to within the rehearsal process is you guys are already so tight. It's like a little family here already, and that's so rare that we get to have that as the starting point for y'all's journey. So this is going to be really interesting to watch because y'all have a really nice background history to be able just to start really strong with it.
I don't know hardly anybody else in the cast. I'm excited to work with new people.
Right, well there's that too,
yeah.
But with you guys, it's just, starting with a core there is going to be really special.
See, I've been in two shows with you.
3. All My Sons, Death of a Salesman, and Over the River and Through the Woods, and
right.
then directed me in 2 shows. So
Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can,
and
Killing Louise.
Right. And Ron, you were in a couple of my shows.
Yeah, subject was Roses, and Jane and I were married once before in View from the Bridge.
View from the Bridge, another Off the Middle of the Night, and then Love Interest in Mornings at 7, and My Three Angels.
Love Interest, my 3 Angels. That's true.
Great.
Don't tell your husband of that.
Okay. Well, I know Newman Theater's really looking forward to this, and I think it's going to be a spectacular production. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Kind words.
Good job tonight.